After waiting almost 3 years to get more information on Fantastic Beasts 3, we finally got some details revealed. We found out that the title of the film will be The Secrets of Dumbledore, and we found out the release date for April 15th, 2022. So with this big news, we now have more of an idea what this film will be about. Rowling has shown that she's not afraid to have characters that were in or mentioned in the original series appear in these films, as we saw Dumbledore, McGonagall, and Nicholas Flamel in the last movie. So who could we see in the third film? Well, with the new title reveal and knowing the timeline, I've put together a list of 9 characters that could possibly show up in Fantastic Beasts 3. Obviously, this is not confirmed, I'm just speculating, but I put all of my Potter knowledge together to come up with the best assumptions and guesses that I could. So with that being said, let's get into it. Ariana Dumbledore. Looking at the original series, the biggest secret Dumbledore had was what happened to his little sister Ariana, and considering the title of the new movie, it's pretty likely that she could make an appearance. This of course would have to be in a flashback, as she died many years before the events of the Fantastic Beasts series, but we saw entire sequences based on flashbacks in the crimes of Grindelwald, so I would not be surprised if we saw that here. She was also mentioned in the last movie by Dumbledore.
In my case, it was my sister.
Did you love her?
Not as well as I should have done.
So the seed for her appearance has already been planted. For those that don't know or just don't remember, Ariana was killed in the middle of a fight between Albus, Aberforth, and Grindelwald, and none of them knew whose spell hit or killed her. This of course gets even more complicated with the plot twist at the end of the last movie, as we find out that Dumbledore and Grindelwald made a blood pact that meant they could not fight each other. So we'll probably find out about this fight, whether it happened before or after the blood pact, and it could be a key component in Dumbledore's secrets, and I think it's very likely that we could see Ariana in a flashback. Aberforth Dumbledore. Aberforth is another character that played a crucial part in the fight I just mentioned, and if there is a flashback with Ariana, it's likely that Aberforth would appear in that flashback as well. And on top of that, unlike Ariana, he's still alive and well during the time of these films. And guess where he resides? In Hogsmeade, right next to Hogwarts, where Dumbledore resides. I find it likely that if some secrets start to get revealed, secrets that Aberforth did not know, we could see a scene where Dumbledore visits his younger brother in the Hog's Head, maybe to talk, maybe to apologize, and maybe even to fight each other again, because the last meeting between the two that we know about ended with Aberforth breaking Dumbledore's nose at Ariana's funeral. So it's very likely that Aberforth could appear in a flashback or in present day. Bathilda Bagshot. Another huge character that is tied to Dumbledore's secrets is Bathilda Bagshot. She revealed the bulk of information to Rita Skeeter for her tell-all book about Dumbledore during the events of the original series. So she knows the dirt. And guess what other character she's tied to? Gellert Grindelwald. She's the aunt of the main villain of the series, and she witnessed more than anyone about what went down between the two boys, so she could even know about the blood pact. When it comes to Dumbledore's secrets, Bathilda is a treasure chest, knowing not only what happened with Albus alone, but the whole Dumbledore family, as she was family friends with them and lived right next to them.
Bathilda Bagshot lives at Godric's Hollow.
Well, that's where she first met Dumbledore. She was as close to the Dumbledores as anyone.
Hagrid. Hagrid is a fan favorite, and many fans are hoping that he'll show up in this series. But even more, Eddie Redmayne, the actor for Newt, the main character, said that he wanted to see the half-giant make an appearance in this movie more than any other character. How cool would it be to see Newt Scamander and Rubeus Hagrid have a conversation? They also have so much in common. They both love magical creatures, both see them differently than everybody else. Both of them were expelled from Hogwarts for something they did not do. Newt because of Leda and Hagrid because of Voldemort. And Dumbledore vouched for both of them after their expulsion.
Yet one of your teachers argued strongly against your expulsion. Now, what makes Albus Dumbledore so fond of you?
We're not yet sure when this film is going to take place, but I have a feeling it's going to be a big time jump, because I think the endgame of the series is Dumbledore and Grindelwald's epic duel where Dumbledore finally took him down, something we've been hearing about since the very first book and film.
Dumbledore is particularly famous for his defeat of the dark wizard Grindelwald in 1945.
And this fight does not happen until 1945. Crimes of Grindelwald ended in 1928, which is the year that Hagrid was born. So if the third installment takes place in 1939, 11 years later, Hagrid would be at Hogwarts. And if it's a 13-year jump, that would be the year the Chamber of Secrets was open, and the year that Hagrid was expelled, which is a plot point that could seep into the Fantastic Beasts franchise. I think it would be really powerful to have Newt talk with Hagrid after being expelled for something he didn't do, because Newt was in the exact same situation. I think it would be really cool to see Hagrid in this film, even if it was just an Easter egg. Tom Riddle. Going off what I said about Hagrid, if we do have this time jump, another student that would be at Hogwarts during this time is none other than Tom Riddle, aka Lord Voldemort. Even if the movie jumps ahead 9 years, that would be Tom's first year at Hogwarts, as he was 2 years older than Hagrid. And as I said, he would open the Chamber of Secrets 13 years after the crimes of Grindelwald. Like Hagrid, many fans have been hoping to see young Tom Riddle make an appearance in this franchise. And seeing as he's my favorite character in the entire series, I would even accept just a small little Easter egg. Myrtle Warren. As long as we're talking about students at Hogwarts that could appear, I can't leave out Myrtle Warren, otherwise known as Moaning Myrtle. She was of course the girl killed by the basilisk, and who Hagrid was accused of killing, thus being expelled. Elphias Doge. Elphias was Dumbledore's best friend during his Hogwarts years, and they were even going to travel the world together after finishing up their 7th year, but Albus could not go, as he had to go home and take care of his younger brother and sister after their mother's death. Elphias knew Dumbledore for years, and even wrote his obituary when he died. According to him, he knew Albus better than almost anyone.
You obviously knew Dumbledore well.
Well, I certainly knew him the longest.
He was by Dumbledore's side for both the first and second Wizarding Wars, joining the Order of the Phoenix for both. So it's very likely that he was by his side for the Global Wizarding War, the war that takes place during the Fantastic Beasts series that Grindelwald led. It would only make sense that Dumbledore's oldest and possibly most loyal friend would show up here and help out. Horace Slughorn. Slughorn was the potions master and head of Slytherin House at Hogwarts for many decades, meaning he was most likely at Hogwarts during the time of these films. If we saw McGonagall in the last movie, we could very well see Slughorn in this one, and this time it would actually make sense to the timeline that Rowling established, unlike with McGonagall. But he could easily show up as an Easter egg, or be in the background, or looking deeper, could be in a more important role, perhaps helping Dumbledore with something like the Blood Pact. Because, I don't know, is that a form of potions? It very well could be. But even if it's not, Slughorn is a pretty exceptional wizard, so he could be of assistance to Dumbledore and even Newt in a lot of ways. Fawkes. We've already seen a Phoenix in the series, but what fans want to know is, could we see our favorite Phoenix? We know he was alive in at least 1938 and probably well before that, because his feather was used to make Voldemort's original wand.
It so happens that the Phoenix, whose tail feather resides in your wand, gave another feather. It is curious that you should be destined for this wand when its brother gave you that scar.
So we could very well see Fawkes with Dumbledore at Hogwarts. We saw how many times he came in handy helping the heroes on multiple occasions in the original series, so it's quite possible that he could help the heroes in this franchise. And there you have it, 9 characters that could possibly show up in The Secrets of Dumbledore. I'm excited to see what Rowling has in store for this movie. I don't quite know what to expect, but I'm excited to find out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. You can follow me on Instagram to see more of my personal life, like my cute dog Loki, and some behind the scenes movie flame stuff. I also do similar content on TikTok and Twitter that I do here on this channel, so if you like what I do here, check them out. All the handles are right below me, and links are in the description. Over here are my wonderful patrons. If you want to be featured on the next video, plus get a few other perks, become a patron today. As always, if you liked the video, hit that like button and subscribe, and look out for more great movie flame videos on the way.